Is it bad that I believe it? You know? Oh, we're going foul on that, Tom Hanks. A little more crying on the field and in life might actually make the world a calmer, kinder place.
Yeah, but studies show most people admit to holding back tears all because they're afraid to look weak or feel judged. Dr. Katie Stewart is here to explain what our tears are trying to tell us and why they're nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, the first question here is, how common is crying? I don't know. I find myself crying more often now the older I get, even at commercials. Like, I'll cry.
Same for me, but I did want to have good numbers for us. So according to the American Psychological Association, for women, between 30 and 64 times per year. I'm at about 64 this week. For men, it's 5 to 17. And then if you break things down, there's some other studies that show men it's 1.4 to 1.9 times a month. I don't know what a 1.4 times crying is.
I don't know. Maybe your eyes just get moist.
Well, yes, they did actually say like that can include full-on sobbing. Women, it's like 3.5 to 5 or so a month. I mean, those do almost add up to what APA found. So apparently it's pretty consistent. Almost everybody cries.
Okay, so can we talk about this? Because I'm one of those,
she has a problem.
You said almost everybody. I don't know why. It's not that I don't feel sadness or the emotion that would bring about crying, extreme happiness. It's just that it doesn't happen for me. Can you tell me if I'm in any other category? Like, is there a difference between humans crying and animals crying? Do animals cry?
Too many questions at once.
I'm all over the place. I just want to know that I fit into some sort of category.
No, absolutely. There are a bunch of categories. So first of all, there are people with conditions that make it harder to cry, like Sjogren's, autoimmune disease. I don't think
that she has a condition?
So I actually think you're probably closer to how I used to be. I was a super sensitive kid, cried all the time. I can remember being on my way to school being, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. So I trained myself to not cry because of what you said at the beginning. I thought it was weak. I thought it was vulnerable. The last thing I wanted was someone seeing me cry. But guess what? Then I became a teenager, then got older and older. Now, thanks to perimenopause, having a child, I cry
all of it. All of it.
Perimenopause, welcome.
But people can train themselves not to cry, and it's not really a conscious thing because usually it does start in childhood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this makes sense.
But if we go to animals, I'm going to try to hit all your questions.
I know, I hit you with a lot.
So supposedly, animals don't cry emotionally. They produce tears like we do, and while we're at it, we should talk about different types of tears. Basal tears, keep our eyes lubricated. Animals have those. Reflexive, when there's an irritant, getting something out of your eye. Animals have those. Then we have emotional or psychogenic. We're not sure. It used to be animals don't cry emotional tears. But then, take a guess. What animal have we been?
Some sort of
dogs.
Oh, really?
Dogs. There was a study that showed dogs produce more tears when reunited with their owner versus another human being.
I'm telling you, Kevin hugs me. Like, I see it.
Yeah. Very emotional beings. So what are, I mean, you're not just crying for no reason. What are the benefits of crying?
So, besides the physical things like getting something out of your eye, we can look at them as intrapersonal and interpersonal. Intrapersonal, they help us actually know what's going on. So there was a study with people with Sjogren's disease where they don't produce tears as much. 20% of those people had a harder time identifying their own emotions. So in other words, just like emotions, they give us information. They also help us relate to other people and strengthen those bonds. And so when we cry emotional tears, the substance is actually different
than if it's like the lubricated tears.
Yes, they become more viscous and more visible. So when we see someone crying, there have been so many studies where people are more apt to help someone if they can see visible tears. It also helps us decode other people's emotions. So another study, I swear I don't know every study, but it was just fascinating to me because we just started in the past 10 years really investigating crying in psychotherapy, which sounds completely nuts to me. Why weren't we studying this all the time? People cry in therapy all the time. But if you show people pictures of someone crying, they're more easily able to identify their emotions than if you show them the same pictures and just digitally remove the tears.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it really helps. And
Not
it's not
me.
just about sadness.
I ugly cry. People would be like, that's crying.
That's right, yeah.
Take away the tears. My face just
Well,
gets
really
all mushed
quickly,
up.
what do you do when you see someone cry? I mean, my first inclination is to go in and hug them, and I might start crying too, but I don't know if that's how
So crying with them is totally fine. And the hugging, my first reaction was, yes, do that. But it depends on the person, right? I will say the last thing we want to do is, I have patients who love and hate me for this. I will not hand you a tissue. Because if you're crying and I hand you a tissue, what's the message you get?
Stop
crying.
Exactly. So what do? I have tissues throughout my office.
And they can reach for them if they want
Yes,
to.
they can take it if they want it. But be with them.
Yeah.
You know, tell them you're there. Then help them explore it. You know, what's going on? Tell me what's happening.
Yeah.
Not stop crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in therapy, we're supposed to check in. Like next session, what was it like? I'm not saying be your friend's therapist and
But it's
check
good-
in,
it
but
can be
how
cathartic.
great
Yeah.
would it be to have someone follow up and say, hey, we were crying together. How are you feeling today?
Yeah.
You're so good. I'm going to call you the next time I'm
Yes,
crying.
do it.
If you're interested in booking a session with Dr. Katie Stewart and crying in her office, she's there for you.
Yes, yes.
We'll have that for you on our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh.
All right, coming up on Talk Pittsburgh, grab your spoons because the heat is on. First responders are battling it out in a chilly showdown. Will the firefighters bring the fire? Will the police lay down the law on flavor? And EMS, well, they're ready to revive anyone who can't handle the spice. We'll find out who comes out on top. That's next.